Are you still paying for your TV license fee? If so, why? Because you simply can't trust the BBC anymore. In fact, you can't trust the BBC for quite some time now. Unlike the good old days when it would give you the news, it would tell you what was going on. But now their journalists are activists. The BBC is quite literally infested with left-wing bigotry. And I believe this manifested more into the open around the time of Brexit and the 2016 US election. We all know which side they were on. It was quite obvious. And they've gotten worse, much worse. And they've got the absolute front, the gall to declare themselves to be free, fair and impartial. Well, we all know that's utter bollocks, don't we? It's not free. You have to pay the TV licence fee, well, if you're stupid anyway. Because if you don't, you get a criminal record and a huge fine. So it's not free. It's not fair. The BBC have known and employed a host of celebrity paedophiles over the decades. The most infamous, of course, being Jimmy Savile. And people who spoke up about it or tried to make a hint about the whole shenanigans on telly, such as the Sex Pistols' Johnny Rotten during that interview, they were slapped down. So it's not fair. Impartiality, we all know it's not impartial. The BBC is not on the fence. It's on one side. It's on the woke left-wing side of politics. It was clear that the BBC was on the side of Remain during the Brexit referendum. It was clear the BBC were on the side of Hillary Clinton during the 2016 US presidential election. It was also on the side of Kamala Harris recently. It was on the side of Joe Biden as well. It never ever gives a favourable coverage for right-wing, conservative, patriotic politics. And I have a bottle of champagne in the fridge just waiting to pop open the day the BBC either gets done away with or the BBC licence fee is scrapped. It should be a choice. If you want to watch the BBC and pay a subscription, then that's up to you. Like we do with Netflix, Amazon, Disney, etc. That's how it should be. But no, they make this an unfair tax on an unwilling public. And with that money, they do whatever the hell they want to. They paid Gary Lineker to host Match of the Day and allowed him to spew his ill-informed politics on X, where if you didn't agree with him or didn't vote the way he thought you should have, then you were the shit on his shoe, and he let you know it. And they let him get away with this for years and years and years until they finally had the bollocks to do something about him and got rid of him. And now we come to the latest scandal. Now, I really hope this sinks the BBC. I really do. So they've been caught editing footage of Trump's speech to make it look like he encouraged the January the 6th Capitol Hill riots. And this is BBC Panorama. If you remember, it was BBC Panorama under John Sweeney, another activist rather than journalist, who tried to set up Tommy Robinson and failed. That backfired spectacularly. If you haven't watched it, please do. It's quite entertaining and very informative. But they did the same here. They lied. Basically, they went out of their way to mislead the public, which is ironic because the BBC have their own in-house organisation called BBC Verify. and they advertise themselves as experts in disinformation. But that's all they do is disinformation. And by the way, BBC Verify, they hire 61 staff members with an annual wage bill of 3.3 million. And that's from the licence fee, by the way. You quite literally have Trump-hating left-wing extremists working at the BBC, and they broadcast the programme a week before the election. They made him sound like he told people to go down there and fight, when that wasn't what he said at all. But they lied, and they used British licence fee payers' money to do it. And it's a crime. The BBC committed a crime. They interfered in another country's election. And it looks like Trump is going to sue them. And I hope he does as well. I hope he bankrupts them. I mean, this is meant to be Britain's national broadcaster. And it used its flagship programme to lie about Britain's closest ally, which it is. It wasn't under Biden and Obama, go figure. But Trump has a lot of respect for the UK. And this is an absolute disgrace. It's a national scandal. The BBC effed around, and now, hopefully, they're going to find out. All they do is they push lies, and there's an agenda there, isn't there? There's a left-wing agenda in the BBC, and it needs to be shut down, all right? Never mind about making the licence fee a choice. It needs to be shut down. And we should cut them off financially forever. The place is riddled with controversy, sleaze, corruption, paedophiles, and they tell lies. What more excuses do you need to shut them down? But it's too handy for the Labour Party and Keir Starmer, isn't it, to peddle their lies and promote their nonsense, their socialist ideology. Now, I really hope the BBC don't get away with this. I hope Trump does bring them to account, and I hope it's the end of the BBC. No more of these ruthless, aggressive BBC licence detectors coming out, knocking on old people's homes and threatening them with jail if they don't pay up. Anyway, that's me rant. I hope you like. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm Paz49. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, have a great day. And Roger Trout.